We'll talk first of all just about the big match, the rematch with Kyle O'Reilly, and you both came out of that first match, bit worse for wear, it's safe to say. So how'd your mindset kind of going back into a match like this, or kind of any match when you've had sort of injuries?
Obviously, injuries are part of what we do, and you can't really let those just detract from your focus going into any match. Obviously, having spent 3 months on the sidelines, kind of recovering from the injury received in the last match, I've had a lot of time to think and kind of focus, going into this match. But you got to put all that behind you, and you got to go into this match with a fresh kind of set of eyes and a fresh mindset, and don't really think about what happened before. You gotta create something different, and that's what I'm doing tonight. Injuries are part of the business, and I've gotten injured plenty of times in the past, as I'm sure you're well aware, and I'm sure they'll be part of my future as well. But you never really go into a match anticipating that, so I'm just going into the match really focused and prepared on delivering and kind of getting back in the ring and getting out there and feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Another thing I wanted to pick your brain on, Joel mentioned Legends Night, and I wanted to kind of get your opinion. There was something Hulk Hogan had said recently where he sort of suggested that some of the younger talent sometimes seem a bit cold towards him about the idea of maybe legends stealing spots and that kind of thing. And I just wanted to kind of get your opinion on that. When you see people like Goldberg coming back for one match, or legends coming in just for say one big moment and then not around, how do you kind of see yourself as a full-time wrestler?
It doesn't bother me at all. I believe that everyone has a place in this business, and that if you're on the show, you're on the show for a reason. And if you're on the show once a year, if you're on the show every night, that's down to everybody's individual circumstance. And those guys have carved out their legacy, and proven over the years that they belong on the show. And whether it's for one night or if it's every night, that's doesn't affect me, and it shouldn't affect anyone else. For me, when the tide comes in, all the ships rise. And if we can have Goldberg on the show, if we can have anyone on the show for one night, I feel like it's better one night than never. So I welcome these legends with open arms.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Alistair. Vicente, let's come over to you for Spain.
Hello, Finn. Hello from Spain. How are you?
Good. How are you, man?
Very good. First of all, Happy New Year. And thank you so much for your time, for being with us today.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. I was wondering, because you are one of the most important superstars in WWE, and a lot of children look at you and support you as a hero. But when you were a child, who was your hero, and what were you attracted from the most from that person?
Hero in regards of pro wrestling? Life. I think for me, my hero was my father. Coming from Ireland in the 80s, which was a very underprivileged country, and a working class family, and seeing how hard he worked every day to provide for his 5 children. Some weeks we wouldn't see him because he would work double shifts, and by the time he got home from work, we were already gone to bed, and by the time I got up, he was already gone back to work. So I think from life, as a role model, and how he worked to kind of carve out everything that his family needed, my hero would be my father.
Well, talking again about the Legends Night that we saw yesterday on Raw, do you have any interaction, any funny interaction, or anything that you will remember forever that you have with one of the legends?
No, but I feel like it's such a great night when the legends are around. But for me, I feel very fortunate that I've gotten to work very closely with some of my heroes in the wrestling business, Shawn Michaels and Triple H being two. Obviously I've worked very closely with Triple H for many years, since I began at NXT, and of course William Regal, and then more recently in the second run with NXT, you know, Shawn Michaels is heavily involved behind the scenes. So kind of getting to know him, getting to learn from him, and pick his brain on what he feels is, you know, a good direction to take the business. You know, I've learned so much from, and it's always very surreal to, you know, be working with these guys that you idolized or you grew up watching, and you know, had their T-shirts or had their action figures, and now you're having a discussion or a debate about, you know, what you think is a good direction to go. So you know, I feel very fortunate to have that working environment in NXT.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vicente. Let's come over to Apollo over in Mexico. I think you are, Apollo. Is that right?
Yes, I'm from Mexico. Hi,
Hey,
Finn.
Apollo. Hey, Apollo. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Very good, thank you.
You were the first Universal Champion of WWE. Is it still in your goals to recover it?
I'm driven by a lot of goals in my life, but titles are not the main goal that drives me. Obviously, I would love to be Universal Champion again. I would love to be Intercontinental Champion again. I feel like that's something I haven't achieved is WWE Heavyweight Champion. That is something that I would very much be eager to pursue. But with regards my goals, you know, I feel like my main goal is to go out and perform to the best of my ability every night. And, you know, if titles come with that, that's great. But, you know, that's not what drives me. You know, being the best performer I can is what drives me. And, you know, I'm sure a day will come where, you know, I'm in the ring for you know, the heavyweight title or the universal title again. But right now I'm very much focused on what I'm doing in NXT and the NXT championship.
In the New Year, we will see a fight between two Mexican superstars, Gran Metalik and Santos Escobar. What is your
Yes.
opinion of them? How do you like to fight with one?
So both are incredible superstars. Gran Metalik is someone who I've known for many years. We wrestled in Japan together. We wrestled in Mexico together, and obviously he's been in WWE and NXT for a long time. So someone who I know very well. Escobar is someone who's came in to NXT very recently, proven himself to be world class, and someone, you know, who I admire in the ring, and, you know, his history in the ring with, you know, himself and his family and the legacy his family has. So I think it's a great match that we're going to see at New Year's Evil. Who do I think will win? I do not know, but I would love to be in the ring with either one of those guys in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks, Apollo. Stephanie, let's come over to you.
Hi, Finn.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, so now you're over a year in being with NXT. What is it that assures you that you made the right choice rather than going to Raw or SmackDown?
Good question. You know, you can make a lot of decisions in this business that you regret, but I feel like the thing that kind of affirms the fact that I made the right decision is the amount of different talent I've been able to work with since I came to NXT, and people that I'd never worked with before in the past. Getting the opportunity to work with, you know, Matt Riddle, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Damian Priest, all these guys was the first time I'd ever wrestled with them. And then, you know, pushing myself in the ring against Adam Cole, who's someone who I'd had very rare interactions with. And, you know, more recently with Kyle, these are guys that, you know, are all guys that are, you know, proven themselves in NXT, proven that they are at the top of their game. And, you know, I'm having to step in the ring and prove myself against those guys. So, you know, it's helped me, you know, push myself to the limit, take myself out of my comfort zone that I was in Raw and SmackDown, and really kind of challenge myself in the ring. So that's really definitely been the thing that's affirmed that I've made the right decision to come to NXT.
And before you came back to NXT and when you were on your extended break from WWE, what did you learn most about yourself during that time?
Sometimes, you're running so fast that you don't get to kind of sit back and admire the view. And I really hadn't taken stock of, what I'd done, what I had achieved up until that point. I was just kind of had the blinkers on and was kind of, working as hard as I could for as long as I could. And, I hadn't really taken a moment to recognize certain achievements or certain goals that I'd reached. So that time away definitely helped me kind of evaluate where I was, not only in my career, but in life, and kind of helped me come back with a more kind of appreciative look on what I was doing in the ring.
Thank you, Finn.
Thank you.
Awesome. Giuseppe, let's come to you next over in Italy.
Hello, Finn. Hello from Italy. How are
Hey,
you?
Giuseppe.
Fine. The first for me is which opponent do you dream for next WrestleMania?
Well, I don't necessarily have dreams or goals with regards to, who I want to face at the next WrestleMania, but someone who I would love to face in the future again is Brock Lesnar. I feel like Brock is someone who pushed me to the absolute limit in the ring, and someone who I feel has got a completely different aura when he is, in your presence. It's just a very, very surreal, person to be around. So to be in the ring with him would, be a huge challenge for me. But, two other guys that, that I want to be back in the ring with is Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. So I know they're, both champions on separate brands. So if I can, get the opportunity to be in there with Roman or in there with Drew again, that's something that I want also.
Finn, I know that you love soccer, football, and
Yes.
You are a huge fan of Tottenham Spurs. The other question for me is if you ever watched the movie about the story of Paul Gascoigne. I don't know.
Yes, so Gascoigne was one of my footballing childhood heroes. Obviously, he's had a very, very tough life with regards, his struggles with alcoholism and other things. But, I think someone who captivated not only Tottenham fans, but, the hearts of players or the fans, all around the world. And someone who I think was one of the greatest footballers of all time.
Thank you very much, Finn.
Thank you.
We've got a couple of minutes, so Alistair, let's come back to you if you've got another question.
Yeah, man. Since I've got the chance to do this, I'm actually working on a feature in the background at the minute about Chris Travis, because it's coming up to 5 years since his death in April, and I know I kind of saw you work with him. I think we chatted about this last time. I saw you have a couple of matches with him at PCW. I was just wondering if you kind of had any words on his legacy and the impact on the British scene.
I think he was revolutionary in the British scene. Someone who I seen when he was very much like a finished product. I didn't see him very much in his early age of wrestling, but someone who I seen. He was working in a tag team as I think it was Project Eagle, they were called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as I seen both of those guys, I thought, wow, these guys have it. And two guys that I wanted to work with immediately. Obviously, so sad, the fact that Chris passed. But I feel so fortunate to not only have worked with him in, one of my favorite matches in the British Indies, but also to get to know him as a person. We became very close in a very short amount of time, and it was someone who we all miss very, very deeply.
Yeah, thank you, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers, Alistair, and thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your questions. Obviously, don't miss NXT tomorrow. Finn, what's the final word? What should we look forward to? Why should we tune in?
So obviously, big match tomorrow. Kyle needs to win the title, but I need to beat Kyle to prove to everyone that you can't injure Finn Balor and, you know, live to fight another day. So there's going to be repercussions tomorrow, and I'm going to make sure Kyle knows what he's dealing with.